I mean, but in general, you see that about the guys, and you come back to it. I mean, the one consistent guy all season long has been Michael Brantley. I mean, obviously, you know, he's just having a phenomenal season. Not only 319, he's got 18 home runs. He's going to finish where we kind of predicted, in that 20 to 25 home run area. He's got 30 doubles on the season, 80 RBIs. And actually, those guys in the chat room got it nailed. They've all been bad at different times. Pretty much the only one. You can point to one mini slump, basically, for Brantley. But he's still been as close to consistent throughout the season as possible. I believe if you were absolving people from offensive problems, I would take Brantley out of there. I don't care. When you have a season like he's had, one slump is nothing in the course of the whole thing. He's done well, not just with his batting average, on base. Like I said, RBIs, the power numbers, everything. Brantley's on pace. He's probably going to pass 100 RBIs. He's probably going to end up 23, 24 home runs most likely for the season, it looks like, and that a highly successful season for me. But you know, you'd look at the Indian stats and you'd go, oh, Brantley and Chisenhall. No, there's a huge difference in separation between the two. Chisenhall fits into that category like what I just described, like those guys in the chat room said, the guys that have been up and down and inconsistent. And when you look at the big graph month by month of this season, the fact, I go back to it, every month 5 guys were hot and 5 guys were cold and 3 guys were hot and 2 guys were nothing. And then a completely different grouping the next month. And the next month, it's like we just drew straws. Oh, I'm going to hit this month. Oh, I'm not going to hit this month. I mean, it's like we drew numbers out of the hat, you know, and that's how we decided the way it was going to go. I mean, that's it. You want to put a T-shirt out for this winter instead of unfinished business? Inconsistent business. That's the Indians in 2014.
Yeah, and another person who has been pretty consistent, obviously not as much as Brantley, but who has, you know, pretty much held up as well as possible is Yan Gomes. And I've been very impressed with him. And, you know, when we pretty much, you know, gave him the keys to the kingdom as a catcher and, okay, we're going to move Carl Santana and Gomes is going to be the catcher every day. I'm like, well, boy, he had a good most of last season. It was a nice discovery, but I hope he can do this for the whole season. I was a little bit skeptical, but no, he's been really good, and he's provided a lot of power and a lot of very timely hitting. And, you know, he's been a guy that you can put back there most of the time, and that really helped them to be able to put Santana out there at third base and then later at first base. And it's not easy to come up with somebody like that, but he's shown that he's been able to do it again this year like he did last year. Again, he's had a couple of slumps here and there, but mostly he's been a very consistent hitter.
No, he pretty much had the rough first, 6 or 7 weeks of the season that I said, you know, and at the time it sounds like you're making excuses, but I believe that the rest of the season has kind of borne this out, is that he was pressing. He was pressing over that first, you know, he signed the contract. Is, you know, first time that somebody's committed big money and you're now a guy. You for the first time, you have a guaranteed spot on a team. Like, he had never even had that before, you know? So, to me, I think he was pressing. We saw some of the errors defensively. I think he was pressing and trying to live up to that. But you're right. Since that first 6-8 weeks there, boom, he has definitely come through. I agree with you, and I think this is the par for the course of what you can expect with Gomes. I really did believe that struggling early part of the season was the pressure of the new contract and stuff, and he got past that, and now this is kind of what we thought, a glimpse of the guy from before, and I think going forward, we know what we can expect out of him.
That's right, and it's going to be interesting to see just how, like, these guys that we've been talking about, if they can put together, if obviously, if what we've been waiting for, if we can get the majority of these guys to get hot right now at this time that we're asking for, when you go up against pitchers, like I said, like Nolasco tomorrow, you know, some of the guys on the Astros, you know, hopefully we can kind of start beating up on some teams and get some of the offense going for really, you know, consistently for the first time all season. This would be the perfect time to just, like, the team as a whole to get hot. Just like last year, you know, it was a different hero every night. You know, a lot of people were hitting, and then somebody would come up with a big hit that would put them over the top. And, you know, hopefully they'll catch that thing spirit down the stretch this year.
And I'll tell you what, Bruce, I'm with you. I've liked Perez. Alan McKellar told me a while back, man, he's got a thing for him. I like Perez there, man. And I like both of those guys. I like the way that that shakes out there at catcher. Something else I wanted to bring up, segueing away from that news that came through while you and I have been talking. Indians lock up Scott Atchinson for another season. They announced that here just a little bit ago. So apparently, he is going to continue to be the oldest player in Major League Baseball. I don't know that to be a fact. I'm just kidding. But he
is, only 38.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. But he has been extended by the Indians. They've picked up 2015, and they have a club option for 2016. I don't have any dollar amounts on that or whatever, but obviously Indians happy with what they've seen out of him. Atchinson this season, he may end up leading the team in wins, second to Corey Kluber at least, but he's 6-0 with a 2.95 ERA in 53 appearances, 55 innings, only 18 earned runs, only 9 walks, 37 strikeouts. I knew he's done pretty well. I didn't realize this. Players are only hitting 218 against Atchinson all season. So, obviously being rewarded, Indians like what they've seen out of him.
Well, that's really nice to see because, Francona really was comfortable with him in Boston and, gave him a chance here with Cleveland, and he was able to reward him. And the good thing is, about relievers like him and, who pitch in the 6th, 7th inning, they can pitch into their 40s. Guys like, LaTroy Hawkins and Jesse Orozco pitch into, he's about 90 or so. And, Atchinson, hopefully he'll have enough this year and next year to be able to still be, somebody that he's comfortable giving the ball to. Because as the season goes on, you know which pitchers, when the game is on the line and the team is leading, which pitchers you keep seeing over and over. Guys like Shaw, guys like Atchinson.
Yeah.
And you just want to establish yourself as one of those guys that is in there in the important stuff and not just in mop-up work. And I guess Atchinson earned that job.
Yeah, absolutely. Since June 21st, he's only allowed 6 earned runs in 23 2/3 innings, covering 22 games. Just a good run for him there. Man, I always get something bonus with you, Jeff. I just got a LaTroy Hawkins and a Jesse Orozco reference in the same sentence. You gotta love that, man. Woo. Good stuff, man. So here it is, man.
Thank you.
Indians. I love it, my man. I love it. Indians, like we've set the stage for them. Now they've got to go out here and take care of business and show you that they're ready to bring the hay from the barn come September.
Right.
So we'll see, man. Trevor Bauer out there. I do. I like him. I want to see. I'm with you. I don't think the next time around you can't expect them to, hold teams to what they did the last 6, but you've got to stay on that track. Absolutely. And I'm with you. I think if the Indians can take tonight, you've definitely set yourself up for taking at least 2 out of 3 in the series. And to me, this is the time of the year where you get greedy. You have to look at each one of these next 3 series and win the series, and then if you can take all 3, that's gravy, that's icing on the cake, but you have to win. You have to take 2 or 3 in each of these next 3 series so that you can legitimately go and put some heat on Kansas City and Detroit, and then we can see how fun we can make this month of September.
That would be great. The way it's scripted couldn't be set up better. The easier teams now, the tougher teams later. And the one thing that'll help is hopefully the Royals will cool off a little bit. I mean, they've really been getting super hot. Hopefully they'll be peaking a little bit too early, and maybe by the time that we play them, they'll come a little bit more back down to earth.
I agree with you there, man. So what do you think by the time you and I talk next, man? I mean, what do you think they do here? It's easy for us to say here the stage is set. Are they going to? I'm going to put you up against it. Do you think when you and I talk, they go 3-3, or do you think that they really do get some stuff going here against this stretch?
Oh yeah, I think they're going to win at least 4 or 5 of the next 6 games. I think that we're going to be happy. I think they're going to win both of these series. I don't know if they're going to sweep, but I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to win the series against the Twins and the Astros, and they'll be in a little better position. So I'm not just being optimist. I think that they are. I think they're really going to do it.
Hey, you know what? Just as I get ready to let you go here, and I'm glad to hear your optimism, I just noticed this, and I say, we were just talking about this. Carlos Santana, not only does he lead baseball in walks, he drew the 400th walk of his career about a week ago. In the 606th game of his career, he became one of the fastest players in Major League Baseball history to reach 400 walks. He did it second in Indians history to only Jim Thome. Jim Thome did it in 597 games. Carlos Santana, it took him 606 games. Number 3 Mike Hargrove, it took him 625 games to walk 400 times in his Indians career, but it just speaks to his ability, and it's uncanny, especially when he's going through a stretch hitting 180, where he's still walking once every 3 times. Like, to me, I would throw you nothing but fastballs down the pipe until you hit them. But the difference is that's why they don't, because you want to say Santana's this and that. There's a reason that they do walk him, because they do know that when they make a mistake, he will take care of business. So there is an advantage to that, being able to draw the walk. But, man, it is uncanny to me that a guy that strikes out, that has the tendency of going for the power swing, has the ability to draw walks like that. I mean, that does fascinate me, even though I'm 100% with you that when he's not hitting and when he's just walking, you got to put him in a different spot in the lineup. You can't have that in your 4-hole. I agree with you there, but, man, there's value to that. I know you say no, but show me another guy that does it. It doesn't happen much. You know what I mean?
Right, and hopefully we'll have him. He'll keep that walking acumen going for a long time, and hopefully in the next few years we'll have some more solid hitting around him, you know, whether it's Nick Swisher or somebody who's supposed to do what Nick Swisher was supposed to do, so that you can put Santana in the 6-hole or even 7-hole when he's not hitting, and then you really get everybody clicking the way they're supposed to.
Do we have a Nick Swisher update, by the way, before I let you go? What is the latest standing here on Nick Swisher and his health or lack thereof? What do you got?
I haven't heard anything. It seems like we're going to be pretty much heading into at least the middle of September without him. So if he's going to make his way back, it's going to have to be some very last-minute heroics at that.
Well, that's what I was thinking, too. It didn't look to me, but I saw some guys in the chat room asking, so I'm thinking, okay, has something new, you know, come out? Is there a change in status? Because I didn't expect anything to change relatively soon with him, but I figured I would throw that one out there by you. We'll have to see. Well, I mean, but I'm with you, man, and I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be asking that question anyway, man. I mean, it's almost like don't poke the bear, man. Just shh.
Right.
If we don't remind Terry Francona that Nick Swisher's out there, maybe, just maybe, he won't play even if he is feeling better. Just shh. Just don't remind everybody that he's even out there, you know? Be like, oh, yeah, man, I forgot Swisher's here. Yeah, well, too late. The game already started. Maybe next time.
Did I go for Jason Giambi too?
Well, is there even a Jason Giambi sighting? I mean, he took one for the team back in April, man. He's like, yeah, I got a pain in my back. I'll take a couple days off. Don't worry about it. Wink, wink. Next thing you know, he's had a 60-day pain in his back. And he's like, hey, we're going to transfer you to the forever disabled list, you know?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, the best joke that I heard was, can we put Nick Swisher on the however many days left on his contract disabled list? I said, man, I think the Indians may be trying to figure that out now, man, because then, at least then they could claim insurance and get some of his contract money back. You know, they can get 60% of that money back from the insurance company. You know, teams, fans don't realize that they never get all of their money back, but when you talk about eating salary, a lot of the smart teams, and I would say the Indians would be smart because they love to save money wherever they can, so they're financially prudent, they get insurance on those contracts, which at least gets you 40, 50, 60% of your money back if those guys get hurt. So, you know, it wouldn't be a $30 million write-off if, say, Nick Swisher had to retire today. Insurance would probably pay for 60% of that contract or whatever. So it wouldn't not that I care if it cost them $30 million or $300 million, but the point is that the teams don't eat as much of that money as fans realize. They don't realize how much of those contracts are protected by that specific type of insurance for teams. It's not cheap, and I'm sure Nick Swisher's insurance is a little more expensive than it used to be because he's a slight more injury prone. But Jeff Gorman, my man, always, as a matter of fact, this was a great way to kind of end the show here today and set it up because we're getting ready to watch some Indians baseball tonight. So thank you so much for joining us Friday. Man, you and I got a lot of work to do on Friday. You'll be doing the Browns thing. We'll be previewing the game this weekend, first home game of the preseason. We may know who the quarterback is. We may not. Rex Grossman may get the start for all we know. Connor Shaw could get the start this Saturday at home. Who knows what happens, man? We'll have to wait a couple of days and talk about it on Friday, Jeff. I can't wait. All
sorts of crazy stuff could happen between now and then. We might even find out about Josh Gordon by then.
Absolutely, man. So, yeah, that would be nice, too. Speaking of, I got away from that earlier, but, you brought him up real quick. I mean, do you think that I was dead on